Well, it's the budget that was never meant to be. Treasurer Jim Chalmers handing down the fourth budget in his term last night after ex-cyclone Alfred delayed the election campaign.
With the ongoing cost of living crisis and increasing global uncertainty, it's being described as a political high wire act in a year where appealing to voters is more essential than ever. Seven finance expert Gemma Acton joins us now. Good morning to you, Gemma.
Good morning.
Huge pressure for the Albanese government. Who are the winners? I want to say big winners. I'm not sure anyone was a big winner.
I think you're absolutely right. I wouldn't say there were any big winners. To the extent there were any winners at all, we knew about all of them already. The only real news was the $5 a week tax cut for workers kicking in next July, and that doubles to $10 a week the year afterwards. But I wouldn't really say that's a huge winner.
Right, the PM and the Treasurer have been selling this as a cost of living budget. Where is that relief then actually coming from?
Yeah, so they're right to do that because that is first and foremost in voters' minds. Cost of living is all we're thinking about, it's all we've been thinking about for a while. But unfortunately, as you mentioned, they weren't expecting to have to do this budget. They thought they'd already been in election campaigning mode, so they've already leaked everything and announced everything that we would see for cost of living. Something else that came out of it was the extension of the electricity rebate, so another $150 in the second half of this year for each household, and then other measures which will make a difference to people, such as the PBS, an extension of what the drugs that are on that. But again, already announced, so not a lot in here for people to get excited about this morning.
Yeah, making their prescriptions cheaper at the chemist. There's been a push to Trump-proof the economy. How does the budget attempt to do that, to Trump-proof it?
Yes, look, I would say business is having a tough time at the moment. A lot of uncertainty coming out of Trump and his government. And last night's budget was not particularly reassuring to business. There are a couple of measures in there, money towards a Made in Australia campaign, but on the whole, what they want to see is proper reforms. Proper reform to tax, proper reform to hiring and firing, less red tape. What are they doing about productivity? And we didn't see any really big earnest measures. We understand why. There's an election just around the corner. It's got to be here and now, but still there's not much in here for business either.
Yeah, Jem, you pointed to it earlier there regarding some of those health measures, and it's safe ground for Labor health initiatives, but we've already seen the coalition match a number of those pledges as well. Where is the divide now between the two parties?
Look, I would say that this is a winning strategy, going hard on health, particularly some of the really salient areas. As I mentioned, most of these have already been announced, but bulk billing's a smart one. Anyone who lives in a healthcare desert where you can't get bulk billing, it's really good news to know that from November there'll be a lot more bulk billing options available. More money to public hospitals, it's really hard to argue with that. More urgent care clinics to take some of the strain off public hospitals, also popular. So it would be interesting to see the coalition try and fight that, and they haven't even bothered to try and fight that. That seems to be sensible. Also, the government has tried to really support women's health since it's come in.
Yeah, it's been big.
It has, and we've seen certain measures for endometriosis, menopause as well, some contraception measures as well. So I'm going hard on that.
Okay. It's an election, I can say election year, it's almost an election month, right? So maybe an election in 5 weeks or so. Is there enough here to curry favour with the electorate?
Look, Carly, we're going to have to wait and see. I mean, consumer sentiment in Australia has been improving. We got that first interest rate cut since 2020 the other day. That perked people up a bit. We've seen inflation coming down a bit. That's made people feel a little bit happier. Is it enough to get them across the line? We don't know. Part of it, we're waiting to see what the opposition responds with.
Yeah, well, we're waiting for that response tomorrow night. We've heard some of those responses already, particularly when it comes to those tax cuts. I mean, it is the opposition's job to be against.
Dismissive.
Are they being too negative?
Well, let's see. I mean, Dutton really recently said, as in earlier this morning, he said that he's got something up his sleeve for tomorrow night. So let's wait and see if that actually eventuates to anything. But, you know, the tax cuts, I think it's probably fair enough to say that $5 a week is not going to move the needle for many people, especially when it doesn't come for another 16 months. But we'll wait and see.
Yeah, we saw them dumb it down to even 70 cents a day.
There you go.
Makes it sound even less.
It does.
What the opposition's gone for. Thank you so much, Gemma, for shedding some light on all budget news.
Thanks, Jem.